没关系
is a common response to someone saying sorry, equivalent in meaning to the English phrase it's fine, no worries. Here,
没
means there is no, while the term
关系
here means it matters, important or critical. Let's first examine the evolutionary process of the character.
没
Initially, this character depicted a river on the left side and a person upside down on the right, illustrating a scenario where someone falls into the water and drowns. Later, a vortex was added beside the water component, and the human figure below disappeared, replaced by a human hand. When a person falls into the water, man instinctively reaches out for help, but the hand depicted in the illustration is beneath the vortex in the river, indicating that the person has drowned. Over time, the river on the left simplified into 3 dots, representing water with 3 droplets, while the right side became more abstract, eventually forming the current written form of the character.
没
Which means not have or without. However, in fact, this character still retains the meaning of death, but when expressing this meaning, it is pronounced as
没
to distinguish it from the pronunciation
没
when it means not or without. Here, an explanation of a concept is needed: polyphonic characters. In Chinese characters, sometimes a single character has 2 different pronunciations, and such characters are called polyphonic characters. Different pronunciations often represent different meanings. Determining which pronunciation to use depends on the context and scenario. Now, let's explore the origin of the Chinese character.
关
When it used as verb, it means close, while if used as noun, it refers to pass, usually a critical place for defense, or city gate. Let's examine the following 3 versions of the character.
关
From the oracle bone script period, the lower part depicts 2 hands, as if holding something up with both hands. I speculate that the vertical line and the cross in the middle likely represent the visible seam where the 2 door panels, left and right, meet after being closed from both sides. Normally, we can close a door with just 1 hand, so why are 2 hands depicted here? It turns out that the doors above, which consist of left and right panels, more often refer to city gates. These gates are usually so large that they require 2 pairs of hands or even 2 soldiers to close them. As we know, in English, the same word can work as both a verb and a noun. Take water flowers, for instance. Here, water is a verb, it means the action of pouring water on plants. But water is also a noun, right? It refers to that substance called hydrogen dioxide. Now, the Chinese character
关
is exactly like this. When we use it as a verb, it means to close. When it's a noun, it stands for an important pass, which a defensive structure built on important roads. Its job is to control who goes through and keep enemies out. It was a super important part of ancient border defense systems. We can actually prove this by looking at the character's old forms. These 3 versions all came after the oracle bone script. You can see the outer part looks like 2 parts of door panel. But what about all those parts in the middle? Does it look like barbecue sticks? Just kidding. Let's check out some real ancient city gates in China. If you visit them, you'll still see those metal chains looping around the gates. Turns out, those middle parts in the old character actually represent the ropes used to lift and lower the drawbridge of the gate. Actually, such city gates were not unique to China. Some castles in Western countries still retain chains to this day. This is because ancient humans all figured out the same way to protect their cities, digging moats outside the cities to keep enemies at bay. Drawbridges were built for entry and exit. When people needed to leave the city, the chains were loosened to lower the drawbridge. At night or when enemies attacked, the chains would be wound up to raise the drawbridge and close the city gates. Therefore, when the character
关
is used as a noun, it means city gate or mountain pass. Since such city gates and passes were the defensive strongholds of a city, the meaning of
关
later extended to key, critical, and important. Let's take a look at the character
系
Before written characters existed, ancient people kept records by tying knots in ropes, big knots for big events, small knots for small stuff. The Oracle bone script version of
系
is basically a tiny snapshot of that knot tying practice. It's a direct drawing of hands tying and knotting ropes, and its original meaning is to bind or fasten. The top part was a human hand, and the bottom part was the knotted rope. Later on, the hand part was cut out, leaving just the rope and the knots. Each little loop here stands for a knot on the rope, and the bottom part is the rope end. Slowly, this character evolved into the form we use today. C. The simplified
系
looks a lot like its seal script version. It's like a return to its roots. Nowadays,
系
isn't just about ropes anymore. As a verb, it still means to bind, tying things up. As a noun, besides meaning connection, it's also extended to mean category or system. Now, let's put these three characters together.
没关系关
Here means critical or important.
系
Means related or connection. When we combine these two characters, they form a word.
关系
It originally refers to a connection, contact, or association as a noun, and later it extends its meaning to it matters. But when we add
没
which means there is no or not, it becomes
没关系
If we translate it directly, this three-character phrase means it does not matter. In English, we usually express this idea as it's fine, it's okay, or no worries.